Start recording, okay, gamers. Today we are going to learn how to use sidereals in Brelshaza 4 gates. Here we go. Gate 1. I would rank the difficulty sidereals very easy. You only do these at very specified times. So the first one is after you guys are fighting your individual hellhounds, your little dog rooms. You'll see right here when I click play on this video, boom, the screen zooms out and your sidereal meter will always be full. What you can do and how it's been done for a very long time is you can run over here as this wall collapses, and as soon as you're here, I aim my cursor in a straight line, this pink cursor right here, so it shoots all the way through the wall and you hit both of the mini bosses. You can cast it right away. As soon as I hit play, I'm sure I'm going to cast it. Boom, there we go. If you are ever nervous about getting to that position and being able to like angle your mouse, just wait till you zoom back in, the camera rotates. There's no issue with you casting it right now instead. I've just done it a million times, so I'm very comfortable doing it there. But you can just wait and then put your cursor right up here and let it rip. You'll see Sidereal goes off and he'll do damage. Back in the day, it was very important to hit both of those bosses because they had armor that needed to be destroyed, and Sidereal would destroy both their armors, yada yada. You don't care. That's when you want to use your sidereal though, all right? It's just for damage nowadays. Okay, boom. Next up, the next time you will use sidereal isn't until the second HP bar mechanic that happens around 42 health bars. We just fast forwarded to that point. And you'll see we got the boss to under that threshold. So once he finishes his next attack, he will jump off the screen. See you later, nerd. Look on your mini map. As soon as you see these little icons pop up, these minions, you know, the little gray helmet with horns on it, you can go ahead and let it rip. You're going to use, what is it, a Xena? Gosh, you think I remember this stuff. Control X, the one in the middle. I believe that's a Xena. She's going to use a bunch of spears that come down, and the only purpose of you using this here is to kill all the ads. That's the whole purpose of this. That way you're free and clear to come up and just start hitting counters. Boom, just like that. All right, that's gate 1. Now, I will give you just a couple of caveats. A recent technique that's coming out for gate 1 and super juice groups that you might slowly see is they only use the sidereal one time in gate 1. And that's for the first mech, the safe zones. They actually Balthor now. So when you get out of your mini dog room, if you're like in a really juice group, they will not use Sidereal to do damage on both the mini bosses. They'll kill him manually, wait for him to merge. And then the first mech where you go to the safe zones times 3 positions, nobody runs to the safe zone. They Balthor right in the middle, and you just pump damage because the Balthor prevents the wipe, just like Voltang Gate 2 Balthor preventing the wipe. If you're in a juice group, you will just pump damage like a Trixie and target dummy, and you'll get him all the way down to the next mech HP threshold where he jumps off the screen. All you have to do, because you're not going to have a Xena to kill the ads, you're juiced, one person runs in each direction, X3, and just kills the tower because it spawns mobs. They just manually kill it, like one of your attacks will kill it, and then you go back to the middle and counter like normal. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I just want you to be aware of that. Nobody's going to expect you to do that. Just do it like I showed you and you'll be fine. Okay, gate 2. You only sidereal one time in a relatively strong group. Not super juiced, but people know what they're doing. You have respectable damage. They normally are just going to side one time. And they're either going to do it at the 45 shapes mechanic, or they're going to do it at the 0 bar mech. So I normally do it at the shapes mech because it is pretty much irrelevant. And if you do it at shapes and then you fail the 0 bar, sometimes you'll get it back if you need a little extra damage. So you'll see here, teleports, goes to the middle, voila. As soon as you see this, you identify this mech's happening. All you do is press Anana, Control C. She puts up the safe zone for you, and you just do shapes like normal. This is honestly used to be more important back before they nerfed this gate. It's not bad anymore. If we just talk about some quick alterations you may want to make if you're not in a very strong group, maybe you're learning with other people or you're progging still and the damage is low. For gate 2, you can use your sidereal as soon as it gets off cooldown. So, you know, the boss might still be at like 130 HP bars when you first get the sidereal meter. You know, if that's the case, the damage is a little lower, then like you're not in a really juiced group or anything, you can let it rip at any time you're comfortable. You see a pattern, just use Nineveh for damage. Like there's a million different normal attack patterns. If you guys need help with any of that, just holler at me. But you can use Nineveh just for pure damage, and you will get it back for shapes or the 0-bar mech. So you can keep that in mind. Most of the groups I'm joining, though, people know the fight. It's going very smooth. The damage is good. You only get one sidereal here. All right, so now we're on gate 3. So normal group. You're only going to use sidereal at the 2 stagger windows, the 95 mech, and then again at 20 HP bars, where you do that big weird shape that has a gigantic stagger bar. That's the only time you're going to use sidereals for the vast majority of groups. If you're in a normal group, damage is just okay. You can use either Inanna or Wei. You see both all the time, dealer's choice. My recommendation is if you have a very high stagger group, naturally, you know, destroyers, gun lancers, or you see a lot of stacks built up on the boss already, you know, the little 10 stack debuff that if it gets to 10, you wipe. If you see, you know, either one of those two things, you can Inanna. Sometimes I'll wait to see the first attack pattern to see if I think it's a bad one that might kill people, and that'll also influence my decision. But you don't have to do that. You can just decide before you go in, you can go, okay, I'm going to Inanna or I'm going to Wei, whatever you want. I would wait, if you're going to Wei, for the first attack pattern to make sure it's not the 2 red circles, the counter stance. So like wide here, I watch. Okay, is it red circles? No. No red circles. So I could Wei right now if I wanted to, if I was just trying to speed run through the stagger check. But I hate this pattern when I'm pugging it with randoms. I don't want anybody to die. So I think I nodded here, just because this prevents people from dying to stuff like this and it lets them just stagger. But that's it. Pick your poison, Wei or Inanna, and you're going to do literally the same exact thing. When you get to 20 HP bars, if your damage isn't super juiced, you know, you're just like a normal group, pumping at a decent pace, you'll get a second sidereal up for the 20 bar stagger, or like halfway through the stagger or something like that. And you can just use Wei to finish it off. That's in a normal group. So I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't say, if you want to run a strong juicer lobby, a lot of you guys are, you know, 1580s, 1600s, whatever. You're strong, you just don't know how to do sidereals. I would suggest that you hold the sidereal until the 20 bar stagger. And there is only going to be one sidereal usage in a strong DPS group. You're just not going to have enough time in the fight for it to fill up again. So what you might have seen some people do is they'll try and skip the second big stagger mechanic. If people know what to do, a lot of stronger lobbies do, they'll kind of wait at around 21 HP bars or so to let the boss go into an attack pattern, and then they'll rip Nineveh, and then everybody will use their burst just to kill the boss to 0 before it transitions to the second stagger. But you don't have to do that. Don't have to worry about it. I just wanted to mention it in case you were curious about it. That's gate 3, easy peasy. All right, gate 4. Everybody loves gate 4. So you normally will just use, I guess we'll cover both as I've done with the other ones. In a normal group, you guys are not super juiced. It's not a bunch of 1580s doing normal Brel or 1600s doing normal Brel. Because in that case, you're not going to use the side until the very end. But for a normal group, say you got people, you know, 1520, 1530, 1540, the damage isn't going to be that great. You can use the sidereal after the first round of shape dimensions. So you go to the second dimension. Someone called out save zone. We were 7-0-11 octagon. This is the last explosion, 11 save zone. So boom, it explodes. You run to the middle, and right now you can use Control Z. Azina, it's just she uses her spears of creation just to do damage. So you could cast it right now, and you would still have it back for Shandy. So it would attack, you'd see a bunch of spears come roasting down, and you'd be fine. This is the timing for that. If you're in kind of a little bit of a stronger lobby and you don't want to do that, then you can just hold to be safe and make sure you have it up for Shandy. Shandy timing. So you're in the middle, you wait for the 2 explosions. You can wait for this little blue wave right there, that blue wave that shoots out. That's when you can boogie on out of the middle, go to your spot. And really, when you get to the edge, that's when you can do it. You can wait for her to slam her hand. Any of these times you can Shandy. I normally wait when she like slams her hand a little bit after that. And when this thing shows up, when this thing explodes, that's when I'll Shandy. That's your timing. It'll be up for the whole mech as the red and the gold orbs come flying by, slow down for you. Everybody can grab them. Easy peasy. All right, Shandy, do your thing. Thanks, brother. All right. The only other time you are going to use your sidereal then is for second shapes. So this happens at like 37-ish bars. I believe this kind of lasts for a while. She can go into certain attack patterns and you can kind of get a little more juice out of it. Or if she banishes you to Shandy land, your other teammates can keep pumping. So what you'll do, I'll show you this first, then we'll talk about the other method. She's giving us a lot of it. She's already at 30 bars and she still isn't teleported yet. All right, lady, do your thing. We're going to just fast forward, 29. There she goes. She teleports to the middle. This is second dimensions. And the reason why you want to do Shandy, you want to do Anana here is because the second version of the confusion buff, it's not confusion, normal confusion, or inverted, regular inverted controls. It's random. So it makes it a little tougher sometimes. So people like to just use Anana here to override the debuff, and you can use your controls as normal. All you have to do is wait for confusion to pop up. That's great timing. That's what I use. So you'll see we teleport into second shape dimensions, and you'll see confusion pop up on my character right now. Confusion. As soon as you see that, just let it rip. Control C, Anana. It makes the save zone. And you're done. You do shapes and GG, you guys clear. You get a sidereal energy. You send some to me for helping you out, and we all live happily ever after. The only other thing I do want to mention is if you're in a juice lobby. If you're in a super juice lobby, 1580s, 1600s, and they're doing normal because they're scared of hard mode. First off, come over to my stream and I'll teach you hard mode gate 4. You can have some fun. But anyway, they will normally Shandy again instead of using Anana for the second shapes, because they're going to skip the second shape dimension. And the timing for that is after the second round of tornadoes once they end. So where are we up here? You remember when the tornadoes were flying around? As soon as this black hole shows up, tornadoes are over. So if you're in a very strong group and that second round, the tornadoes fly around on the screen and you're dodging them. If no one's going to kill the black hole, then you can wait for it to pop up, or you can just count for a couple seconds, let the tornado spawn, count to 5 and then let Shandy rip. All you're doing is slowing her down so you guys can have plenty of time to kill her before she triggers the second dimensions. That's the Shandy timing if you're just skipping second dimensions. All in all, not bad. Most of these sidereals are very easy in Brel. If you guys have any specific questions, I'm streaming over at Twitch all the freaking time. Nutris, come holler at me. And if you want me to do any more guides on anything specific, that's also something you can do, coming by the stream, or just leave a comment on the video asking for help and I got you. GG's and have a great day.